Fortunes of war can change their way. We imagine our lives will be. The March family are on their way. Meg, Joe, Beth, and Amy.
During our journey to Newcourt, our minds were filled with curiosity about our new home and possible new friends we might meet.
Now remember what I told you, Milky Ann. You mustn't give Aunt March any trouble.
I wonder if Aunt March is prepared for our arrival.
Are you worried about her liking us?
Well, I suppose.
Well, what I'm worried about is whether or not we're going to like her.
Perhaps we should withhold our judgment until after meeting Aunt March. She may turn out to be a wonderful person. Father seemed to think she was quite special. He's known her all his life.
Then why didn't she answer Father's letter? Or Mother's, for that matter? What's so special about that, Meg?
You're being unreasonable. Mother's letter was posted the day before we left.
Well, I suppose you're right. So I'll take your advice and wait until after we've met her to decide if I agree with Father, okay?
You'll notice Mother is perfectly calm. We can all learn a lesson from her, I think.
Meg's right. We must all compose ourselves before we arrive, right?
Right. There was real confusion at the station until we finally got our luggage sorted out, and the conductor helped us onto the platform. From there, Marmee hired a porter to take our bags, and we went outside into the public square to wait for Aunt March.
It appears to me that nobody's coming to meet us, Mother.
Be patient.
Great.
How often does Aunt March have relatives come to visit her anyway? She might have at least had someone pick us up.
Stop your complaining, Joe. You mustn't judge other people. It may not be convenient for them to meet us.
Well, I suppose.
She's right, Marmee. What are we meant to do? Wait here forever?
We're meant to find out where Aunt Martha lives and inform her we're here.
I assume that means you'll be going to Aunt March's alone?
Somebody has to make sure that we're really welcome.
Why can't we all find out together?
It would probably be too much for the dear woman to take if we descended upon her all at once.
But she already knows all about it from the letters you and Papa have written.
But I still think it's better if I handle it alone until I'm positively certain that we're welcome.
But why? Why wait? We'll all have to meet the old bat eventually, no matter what we do.
Really, Joe?
Wouldn't it be considered better manners to go together as a family? That'd be more polite, wouldn't it, Mother?
Since when have you been so concerned about being polite, Josephine? Then again, it's a point well taken. Maybe we should go as a family.
Thank you for listening to me.
Oh, Marmee, do you really mean it? We can go with you?
Wonderful.
All right.
I'm happy with whatever we do. I wonder if she'll like Milky Ann.
Then the matter is settled. Joe, see if you can find a carriage. Be sure it's large enough for the whole family to fit inside. The address is on this paper. Joe, look both ways and be careful crossing the street.
I will. Whoops. Excuse me, sir.
Miss March, I think we'd have been better off if I'd stayed put at the depot and minded the baggage instead of coming with you.
Hannah, this is the first time our family will meet Aunt March. I'm sure the children are feeling every bit as nervous as I am, which means we'll all be depending upon you. Somebody has to be level-headed, all right?
Oh, please, no, Miss March. I'm the very first person to break down when things ain't the way they're supposed to be going.
Well, even if she's not expecting us, I can't imagine her turning us away.
Maybe we should find a place right now.
Perhaps the best way to go about it would be to ask her if she's willing to help us find a place to live.
Beth, look.
They ain't home.
They must be expecting us. Mother, try it again.
They'll answer, Joe. Just relax.
Maybe she was taking a nap.
You're right. It's a very large house. It might take some time to go from one end to the other.
Uh-huh.
It shouldn't take this much time. Ring again, Mother.
Don't be so impatient, Joe. Mind your manners.
She doesn't come to the station. She doesn't answer the door. She must have gotten our wire. She must know that we're arriving today.
I'm not so sure. Maybe she actually forgot we were coming.
Well, I, for one, am tired of waiting.
Hello.
Good day. I'm Mrs. Mary March, the wife of Friedrich March, and I believe the mistress of the house may be expecting us. Would you be so kind as to tell her we're here?
Will I?
Well, what do you think of that? Some welcome.
I'm at an absolute loss for words.
Perhaps we aren't welcome after all, Mother.
No, dear, I'm sure she meant for us to wait here. I believe. Oh.
Ho, ho! My dear women, may I inquire as to what your business is with the Marches?
I'm Mary March, Frederick's wife. And who might I be speaking to, sir?
My name? I'm the one, the only, David Forrest.
Oh, then you must be the nephew my husband mentioned.
Aye, the very same person coming to your rescue just in the nick of time. Now, how can I be of service to Madam and her friends?
To begin with, you can stop being so foolish and take us to our Aunt March.
Your Aunt March, she's my auntie. But an idea is penetrating. You must be the other Marches, the ones I was supposed to greet this morning at the train station. Ben! Ben, where in the blazes are you? This animal needs to be fed. Giddy up there. Ben!
Mrs. March, please come in. Madam says to wait her attendants in the living room.
She sure doesn't seem very anxious to see us. Joe, who was that funny young man? The one who drove up in the carriage. Is he supposed to be somebody we're related to?
As I understand it, Amy, the young man you're referring to is the son of your late grandfather's sister, which I suppose makes him Father's uncle. No, wait. It makes him Father's first cousin once removed. I am right, aren't I, Mother?
It's pretty confusing.
So this is Friedrich's family. You caught me in the middle of my afternoon nap.
Please forgive us. I'm Mary March, and these are my daughters.
And you expect me to open my house to you because you're the wife of my nephew, Friedrich?
Did you receive our wire?
It arrived this morning. The contents were perfectly clear, especially about needing a place to stay. I'm expected to house and feed the family of a nephew with whom I've had no contact in years. What's more, these perfect strangers arrive at my doorstep during my nap time. What would you do in my position?
But my husband did have some correspondence with you.
He said he's enlisted in the army. Is that correct?
Mm-hmm.
How impulsive. Leaving his entire family to fend for themselves.
My husband is fighting to preserve what's written in the Constitution.
That doesn't give him the right to ask me to provide for his wife and family.
It was never our intention to ask you to provide anything.
He said that he planned on returning after the war is over and search for a job. In the meantime, would I please find a house suitable for a family of 7? If that's not providing, then I'm much older and much less wiser than I thought I was.
I want to make something clear to you. We're capable of providing for ourselves. All we need to do is find a place where we can live.
It pleases me to know that you're self-sufficient. Does that absolve me of any responsibility to find a house?
Well, ma'am, if you know of a place that's available, we would...
Afraid not. I must tell you, my nephew Friedrich has severely disappointed me. I hear nothing at all from him for years. And when he finally does communicate, it's because he wants something. He doesn't bother to ask how I am after all these years. On the contrary, he wants me to provide shelter for his family.
I'm sorry. We received no answer to our telegram. But our situation was so desperate we came anyway in hopes that you'd help us.
I wasn't able to answer him because I was too hurt.
I understand. I suppose I was assuming that you and my husband would share a great affection for one another. I can see now that I was mistaken.
Shared would be more appropriate. A young medical student once lived in this house. I treated him like a son. His name was Friedrich March.
I'm sure Friedrich would be most ashamed of himself for having hurt you. He always speaks so fondly of you. If you loved him once, perhaps there's still some love in your heart for him. He was hoping that you'd help us with the transition.
What transition? You'll find a house and move in.
Aunt March, I know you're not that ungracious. It hasn't been an easy move for our family to make. Friedrich and I spent long hours trying to figure out the best way of going about it. Because of the war, the likelihood of finding an available house in Elmsville was remote. So we chose Newcourt and Friedrich's beloved Aunt March.
I'm an old woman and my legs are bad and I'm not as strong as I used to be. I'm afraid I wouldn't be much help to you looking for a house.
The best thing for tired muscles is exercise. I'd be glad to go walking with you every day.
Oh, really? What have we here? A practicing physician?
Oh, my.
It appears that something from Friedrich's analytical mind has rubbed off on his daughter. Aunt March, allow me to introduce my family. The one in red is my daughter Josephine.
An awkward child, isn't she?
I am not.
The young lady on Joe's right is my oldest daughter, Margaret. We call her Meg.
She's a real beauty, unlike Josephine.
To Joe's left is Elizabeth, my third daughter. We call her Beth. My youngest daughter, and without question the most precocious, is Amy.
Amy, what kind of name is that for a lady?
It's my name, and I'd be grateful if you call me by it.
Well. Oh, Esther, can I have a word with you?
Absolutely, sir. Is there a problem?
I'd like to speak to my aunt. Have you any idea who's in there with her?
Some visitors from out of town.
Well, I've got to speak with her, Esther. It's very important.
Madam said please not to interrupt her. They'd be leaving soon.
I hope you're right. But you know my aunt, her mind's as changeable as the weather.
Well, I wasn't told to prepare the beds in the guest room, and she mentioned nothing about having people for dinner.
Thanks, Esther.
And then the Confederates burned our house down.
It was burned completely?
Yes, there wasn't an uncharred piece of wood to be found.
Your belongings. Were you able to get any of your personal belongings out in time?
A few. We were already preparing to move, you see. So Friedrich had packed many of the smaller things into the wagon that day.
What about your clothes? How much clothing were you able to extricate?
A little. 2 suitcases that were packed and what we have on.
You'll need more if you're to withstand the inclemency of our weather.
Yes, I know.
And have you been able to find a hotel that fits within your budget yet?
No, not yet.
Hotel?
Well, I certainly don't believe that will be much of a problem. We're a commercial port and we need hotels for all of our customers.
Yes, I was hoping that you might help us to find a suitable place.
I would highly recommend that you live in a hotel until you are able to find a house.
Yes, but will we be able to find something within our financial limitations?
I'm sure it won't be easy, but if you look carefully and keep within your means, something will turn up.
I'm totally ignorant about the price of local rentals, but if you'd be willing to assist, I think we could...
Yes, child, I understand. But I'm afraid I can't be of much use, my dear.
Oh. I quite understand, but please accept my sincerest gratitude to you for receiving us. The children and I have looked forward to meeting you for such a long time.
My condition prevents me from being any help. For quite some time now, I've been a semi-invalid confined to my home and the borders of my estate. And what influential friends I have rarely come to visit me anymore.
Can we be of any help?
I'll feel much better when I know you've found a home.
Thank you. We'll be leaving now, if it's all right with you.
I'm sorry I've not been able to help you more than I have.
But you have, and I hope you'll forgive us for this imposition. Come, girls, let's not take up any more of Aunt March's time. We still have to find lodgings for the night. Thank you, Hannah.
Wait! You must be Hannah, the maid, correct?
I reckon that's me, ma'am.
I can't imagine you'll have need of a servant living in a hotel. Why not leave her with me till you find your own lodgings?
What?
Does that appeal to you, Hannah, staying here with Aunt March while we're house hunting? Of course, the children will miss you, but I'm sure you'll be more comfortable here.
I reckon. I allow the hotel won't have any fixings for me to cook my meals on, but I can't say I'm happy about it.
No, Hannah. You belong with the family.
I think it might be better if I stay here at least temporarily, Josephine. Save you time, save you money.
An excellent decision, Hannah.
But Hannah should stay with us,
Don't let
Mama.
her go.
Aunt March, Hannah has been with us so many years, she's like part of the family. We'd be lost without her, especially in the middle of moving into a new house.
I'm sorry to hear that, but it's your decision. If you happen to have a change of heart...
Oh, no. We'll take her with us. Goodbye now.
Pleased to meet you, Aunt March. Goodbye.
So, we meet again. Leaving so soon? I think you're much better off going home. She won't do a thing for you, you know. She won't do a thing for anyone. She's a mean, bitter old woman.
Oh, but I can't agree. She was very helpful to us.
Huh? Are you telling me you got some money from the old monster?
I beg your pardon?
I'm aghast. I'm at a complete loss for words. Everybody asks Aunt March for money, especially her down at the Hill relatives.
Excuse me, Mr. Forrest. Madam is awaiting your presence in the living room.
Thank you, Esther. I'm on my way. She knows exactly what's on my mind.
Mrs. March,
Yes?
can I order your carriage?
Aunt March? That family that just left here, may I ask, what did they want from you?
That's no concern of yours, sir. They're my nephew's family, and they happen to be moving here.
It appears they've been traveling quite some time.
I'm afraid they've had a bad time of it. They come from a small town in Pennsylvania, which the rebel army destroyed. Unfortunately, they lost everything they had. They want to make a fresh start in Newcourt and have asked me to help them, even though I hardly know them.
Incredible! Know what? They're after your money, Aunt March. That's the reason they came here.
And what are you after, young man?
Oh, this is unbelievable! Don't you understand, Aunt March? I'm trying to protect you from those selfish people that are only interested in your wealth.
You haven't answered my question.
I'm after nothing. Believe me, Aunt March, I'm only trying to look out for your personal welfare. I'm protecting you as if you were my own mother.
I have an obligation. They're relatives.
Really? I'm much more family than they are, Auntie. All right, then. So they're family, but they're broke. If you want to open up your house to them, go ahead. But I'm warning you, it's only a matter of time before they start pulling at your purse strings.
You still haven't answered my question. Why are you here?
I'm here, well, I'm here because I'm here because I've come to ask you a small favor, Auntie. It's about my stock market holdings. I've overextended myself and the market's down, so I've got to support my position or I'm afraid I might lose everything. Can you spare 1,000? 500. I'm desperate.
Where are you, Esther? Esther, come here!
Yes, madam. I'm coming.
If you can only spare $500, I can get by on that, Auntie.
Call the Marches back here at once.
What?
Don't be stupid, girl. Friedrich's family, the people that just left here. Take my private carriage and go fetch them.
Right away, madam.
I'm sure 200 would amply suffice.
Call on me tomorrow and you'll get your money.
Thank you! How may I show my gratitude?
By becoming a man.
Bless you, Aunt March. Bless you, Aunt March. Aunt March, you're not actually going to let those urchins live here, are you? I mean, what prompted you to change your mind so suddenly, Auntie? That is to say, that's not like you at all.
You've made me realize how very unfair I've been with them.
You mean you're going to, take them in?
Temporarily, until they find a home. You know it's very expensive living in a hotel. After all, they are my family, David.
Oh.
As far as I'm concerned, she's just a mean old witch.
She was quite nice to Father when he was young, but I suppose she's changed since then.
As far as I can see, she doesn't care about us at all.
I'm glad we won't be staying in that awful place, Marmee. It smelled horrible.
Well, I'm very pleased you held your tongue.
So am I. I was sure she wasn't going to invite us to stay anyway. Besides, you promised that we could stay in a hotel, and I've been so looking forward to it.
Really? But we must find a place of our own soon.
But we're not going to move right away, are we, Marmee? You promised I could spend some time in a hotel. Oh, Marmee, I want to be in a hotel more than anything in the world.
Oh, look! There's a carriage coming. Mother, it's Aunt March's maid and she's waving at us.
Please tell the driver to turn around, Mrs. March. My mistress wants you to come back.
I guess that means no hotel for me. I'll have to try to like that stuffy old Aunt March. There has to be something nice about her. I hope it doesn't take too long to find it.
Fortunes of war can change their way. We imagine our lives will be the March family.